Hi, welcome to Making a Better Me Day 174 update. As usual on the weekend, I'm late with my update, so this is Saturday's update, but it's actually Sunday right now. But I'll tell you about my day yesterday, and we'll go from there. I am joined on the couch here by Mr. Storm. He's been sitting on the couch having some relaxing time, so I'm going to sit with him and have some cuddles while we do this video because he's a good boy. So yesterday, let me see, what did we do yesterday? Saturday, got up, did a few errands around the house, not a whole lot. Well, actually, yes, I guess we did do quite a bit. I've been putting Thompson's water seal on my deck. I did the base of it, I think last weekend maybe. And I did the rails and the spindles, at least most of it. I didn't get the outside, I got all the stuff from the inside, but I didn't get all the sides done. But I got a good start on it yesterday, and it rained overnight, and everything was beating up nicely. So it is doing its job. It is sealing everything off. So I feel pretty good about that. That was a big job, and took a lot longer than I expected, and I didn't even finish. And I did even have some help from Tamara and Leanne at times, although they kept getting frightened off by wasps, which didn't bother me, but they seemed to upset them quite a bit. So they weren't able to stay and help. So after that, Tamara and I decided that we would take a little adventure, and we took, yes, Mr. Storm's giving me some kisses and loves. Thank you, buddy. He's a very sweet boy. He loves to give kisses. Tamara and I took a little adventure, and we went to Burnt Coat Head with Score and Blur. It's a section of beach, I guess you would call it, where the world's highest tides take place, and it's in the Bay of Fundy, and it's out towards Knoll Shore, I guess, or Knoll. I'm not sure what the official name of the community is, but it's out in that general area. So it takes a little less than an hour to get there, and if you go when the tide is out, you can walk on the ocean floor. So we were out there. There's some islands that you can walk completely around while the tide is out, and took some video and stuff out there. I'm hoping, I'm not sure what my content looks like. I haven't looked at it yet, but I may try to edit it and make a video like I did at Victoria Park the other day. So that might be interesting for people to watch if you enjoy that sort of thing. And I just, yeah, we had a great little walk around out there. Got to see the spot. I had never been there before. Tamara had been there once, but not when the tide was out. So it was certainly a different experience for her. One thing to keep in mind, though, if you do head out that way, is that there is an endangered species of clam there. So there are certain sections that are off limits. And they also ask people not to go in tide pools, even in the areas that you can access or are allowed to access. So kind of interesting to, that apparently, I guess 95 of the world's population of this particular clam are in this area. So it is a very endangered species, and they've made it a protected area. So, but still a great place to go, and lots of things that you can see and do there as far as getting to walk around the beach floor and check out lots of little things. There's you can really see the effects of erosion around the islands and around the shoreline and things like that. And just, there's lots of rock there. It's not too muddy. There are some muddy spots, but not too bad. So that was a fun little adventure. When we were on our way home, I got a message from Leanne just before we arrived home, and actually she had headed to the emergency room last night. She's had a problem with some swelling in her feet the last couple of days, and we were a little concerned about it. We weren't really sure what to make of her, but her feet had swollen up quite a bit, and so she had called Canada 811, I think it's called, and talked to a nurse there, and the nurse, after doing an evaluation over the phone, suggested that she make a visit to the ER. So it was treated fairly seriously. I was actually surprised. She was in. It seemed to be fairly busy in the waiting room when I went through, and she's, from what she told me, it sounded like there were quite a few people there. But she, she was seen quite quickly. They did actually several tests. They did blood work. They did a chest X-ray as well as a urine sample testing analysis, and they were checking for heart function, liver function, and kidney function. All those things checked out fine. Everything came back great. So basically, we were told that it was probably just environmental with the changing in temperatures. We've had a lot lately. We've had a lot of rapid fluctuations in temperature, and that it could be the cause of that. So I guess, if you do have swelling like that, sudden swelling in an area, it is, maybe a more serious issue than you might think, and certainly something to look at. So, always be sure to check out things like that. It's not something I probably would have even thought of for myself. She didn't have pain with it or any discomfort that I'm aware of. So, it was just a little bit of an unusual situation. But everything is okay, and she's been just told to, just rest with her feet up a little bit, and that it should go away in a couple of days. So, and I think it's actually even improved quite a bit today. So that's great. So we were there quite late, even though it wasn't too bad with all those tests and things, and having to get the results of those tests. We were there until probably about 11 o'clock. Now, before we went to the hospital, when I had contacted Leanne, I hadn't eaten yet, and I said, well, I'm going to go get some supper, and I'll bring you supper. So Tamara and I went and got supper. We actually ended up at Frank and Gino's, and we brought Leanne some takeout supper from there. And what happened is Tamara just dropped me off there, and then we were able to drive home together. So that was great, and big thanks to Tamara for dropping me off and taking the van home. And so I was able to stay with Leanne so that she wouldn't be by herself sitting at the hospital, because that would be awful boring. And I'm glad everything's okay. We've spent more than enough time in hospitals lately. And speaking of spending time in hospitals, Leanne's mom is still there. She's on the third floor at the Colchester East Hants Regional Hospital, I think is what it's called. I'm not sure the official name of it, but the hospital here in Truro anyways, which is a fairly new hospital. And one thing I want to mention about that is that, she is very, very anxious to get home, and she is asking, people, oh, can you help me? Would you be able to check in on me and things like that? And I think she's giving indications that she's a lot better than she actually is. So please, be advised, if you do go visit, you may be asked to, check in on her and things like that. And, don't feel obligated to do that. I know everybody wants to help, but she does need specialized care at this time. And, certainly when she goes home, she will need very specialized care. And I don't think that any of us really are qualified to just go over and check in on her and make sure she's okay, on a regular basis, to the point that she can go home sooner rather than later. So please, use your best discretion when speaking with her, and make sure you're, not giving her, too much hope as far as what the capabilities we'd be able to help her with are. I think that's really important right now, because she does need to get a little bit better. She is having still some cognitive difficulties. That's a hard thing to say. I have difficulty saying it. And she does seem pretty clear about a lot of things, and that's great. And she is improving steadily. Every time I see her, I do see improvements. But there are still some things there that just aren't the way they normally would be or should be. And so just be aware of that, and be patient and supportive, but just be careful, how you're dealing with things like that. But otherwise, she's doing great, and we're hoping to get some more assessments done over the next little while, and who knows, maybe she will be home sooner than we think. So other than that, I think that was about it for the day. So it was a busy day. Like I say, putting the Thompson's water shield on the deck, which is doing a fabulous job. I'm hoping it will sort of extend the life of our deck. We'd recently had the deck pressure washed, so I wanted to get that on there while everything was clean and ready, and I think it's going to do an okay job. I think it's going to breathe a little bit more life into the deck for a bit of time. And then, like I say, we had a visit out to Burnt Coat Head, I always have a difficult time saying that, but it's Burnt Coat Head. And so that was the first time for me, and we got some supper out, Frank and Gino's, which is, it's a pretty consistent spot, and it's a pretty good spot. We eat there fairly regularly. If you're visiting Truro or you're in Truro and you don't eat there, you might want to check it out. I think it's probably one of the better restaurants in Truro, and a place that we always we go there, like I said, fairly regularly. So certainly worth checking out. And a big thanks to everybody at the Colchester Regional Hospital for taking such good care of Thora and Leanne last night as well. I'm really thankful that everybody's making progress and moving forward and doing well. One other thing I want to mention real quickly, I think about 2 weekends ago, I bought this toy for the dogs. It's Go Nuts, and it's a mega stick, and it's basically quite chew proof. And I was looking at it today. All the dogs have played with it and chomped on it pretty hard, and there is not a mark on this thing. It was fairly expensive. I think it cost around $40 plus tax, but it does come with a lifetime warranty. And if the product becomes damaged, you can send it in and have it replaced. But there is not a mark on it, and all of our dogs have had some good hard chewing time on this. So if you've got a dog that's a hard chewer and you want to keep them busy with a toy that won't get destroyed, you might want to check out GoNuts.com. And there is actually a local vendor that sells them. Three Blues and a Bully is the name of the vendor. I believe they have a Facebook page. Friend of ours from the DISC community named Tanya Whitehead. So certainly check her out and let her know we sent you that way if you contact her. Anyways, if you've enjoyed this video, hit that thumbs up button, that like button. It's great to have the support of that. If you have any comments to make, please leave them below. You might want to, if you have any comments about the Go Nuts or you want to know more, so certainly ask me there. Anything about Burnt Coat Head, I can probably tell you a little bit. So yeah, leave your comments below. And last, of course, please hit that subscribe button. I did get a new subscriber yesterday, so that was pretty exciting. Thank you to whoever it was. It was an unknown subscriber, so thank you for joining. And I also noticed yesterday that my view count exceeded 6,000. So people are watching videos ever so slowly, but we're getting there. So I thought that was pretty neat, kind of a milestone. Anyways, thanks for watching. Have a great night. We'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.